21st Century, in association with Worldwide Distribution Services, a subsidiary of Intercontinental Video, presents a remarkable enterprises production. Captain Kremmen.
You're the only man alive that can handle this mission, Kremmen.
I know, sir.
It's up to you to save my empire, Captain.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Do you realize, Kremmen, that the fate of the continental United States is in your hands?
Fear not, Mr. President. It's not for nothing that they call me the world's most fabulous man.
Computer readout. Subject, Captain Elvis Brandenburg Kremmen. Born December 25th, 1950. Height, 6'10". Physical attributes, supreme athlete, concert pianist, Concorde pilot, mountain climber, diplomat, space captain, and genius. IQ 498.
Hi, folks. Captain Kremmen here. What I'm about to tell you is classified information. It all started in the June of 2005. I was strolling through the grounds of the White House with the president, swapping jokes.
Say, what's black and crisp and hangs from the ceiling?
I don't know, Mr. President.
An Irish electrician.
Suddenly, he turned a ghastly serious color and said,
Kremmen, our scientists have been tracking a strange object in outer space for quite some time now.
Is it an alien being?
We don't know, but what we do know is that every probe ship we send up never comes back.
You'd like me to go and investigate?
Yes, I would, Kremmen. This is a job for a man with nerves of steel. A devil-may-care soldier of fortune with a gleam in his eye and a song in his heart, a smile on his lips and a girl in his arms.
Before you could say integrated circuit, I was back on board my trusty spaceship Troll 1, talking to my chief technical assistant. Okay, Gitfinger, Thron shields in place?
Oh, yes, Captain.
Anti-Krilge ray in position?
Affirmative, Captain.
Good. Are all the stores on board?
Oh, yes. We have enough supplies for 6 light years.
Wonderful. What about entertainment?
Well, we've got every feature film ever made and a lifetime supply of Star Trek.
Terrific. I love to start every adventure with a...
Please fasten your seatbelts and extinguish all cigarettes. Thank you.
Well, we were off on an adventure that made Gone with the Wind look like the test card. Onward, ever onward we went, wending our way through the cosmos. And it was there in the cosmos that we came across an evil race of space swines known as the Thargoids. They dragged us down to the surface of their planet and tried, with the aid of their machinery, to suck out my brains. I put up a wonderful fight. I refused to submit.
I refuse to submit.
Fortunately, my bionic brain recovered microseconds later, and Carla, the doc, and myself escaped by rocket. We thought we were safe until suddenly...
Danger. Putron attack.
What does that mean?
Danger.
What's Putron, Captain?
I don't know. Doctor, ask your computer.
Right away, Captain.
Putron analysis. A deadly mixture of all hideous-smelling substances available in universe. If touched, victim instantly throws up, down, and sideways. Bursts into boils and dies. Putron has no known antidote and is a vile, huey green color.
I get it.
Get what, Captain?
By now, the Thargoids will definitely know we've escaped, right?
I guess so.
They've probably shot some of this stuff at our ship.
Oh, no.
We gazed out of the rear porthole and saw a glowing green lump of sticky, throbbing goo slowly approaching us.
Schatzgewalde Krabben, Sie Dinkelbaum, Captain.
Don't panic. It's got to eat its way through the hull first. Suddenly, there was a mighty lurch as the Putron hit the ship. I cradled Carla in my big muscly arms as the goo began to stench its way towards us.
Oh, Captain, what are we gonna do? Look, it's cracking the porthole.
It seemed to be alive as it glurped its way through the window. It was at this moment I had my award-winning idea. I rushed to the smallest room in a ship. Now, where the heck is it? I grabbed all the bottles of stench killer I could find and proceeded to mix them all together. Hey guys, I think I've done it. This might act as an antidote.
Oh, Captain, thank God you were right. It's beginning to move again.
Stand back, everybody. As the putron reached for my ankles, I poured the mixture on it.
Oh, Captain, look. It's dying.
Sure enough, the putron was just sitting there, looking all sort of uggy.
No, I'd say it was more sort of icky.
Well, it's definitely dead.
How can you tell?
I'm quite clever that way. I have vast quantities of grey matter.
But doctor, you told me the other day that Hertz Van Rentel was a Dutch painter.
Captain, there's something coming through on the intercom.
Kremmen, we have been observing you on our teletron screens.
Yes, and we put pay to your putron, you cosmic creeps. You can't frighten me.
You can't frighten him.
You will listen to me, Earth scum. You are lost in space. You've run out of fuel, and your ship is full of dead, rotting putron.
Listen, you digital dummy. I've been in worse jams than this, but I don't care.
He doesn't care, so there.
I have nerves of steel and faith in my scriptwriter.
We have not finished with you yet, Kremmen.
From the bottom of my Gucci space boots to the top of my Harrods helmet, I felt an eerie vibrating in my bones. Suddenly I realized the ship had been gripped.
Carla, the ship's been gripped.
I know.
We're being pulled down to the surface of the Thargoid planet by a powerful tractor ray.
Oh, Captain, I'm so worried.
Fear not, my little cosmic cupid.
But, Captain, there's no hope.
Carla, you're talking to the world's bravest man.
I know.
The man whose bravery will get us out of all this mess.
Oh, really?
A man who was brave enough to climb Everest.
That's not so brave.
From the inside,
My lid flipped as we plummeted towards the planet.
Carla, I'm going to try another of my soft landings.
Oh, not another soft landing.
Stand by, everybody. This is it.
Troops of guards scooped us up and bundled us into a monorail pod, which zoomed from our landing site. Soon we were traveling high above the Thargoid capital.
I guess we're being taken to the leader of the Thargoids, Captain.
You think so?
You know, like in the movies, Take Me to Your Leader.
Captain, look down there. What? The people look just like ants. They are ants. We're on the ground. Oh.
This way, scum. Wow, Captain, this sure is some building. It must be made of solid diamond.
Carla was right. The whole place reeked of expensiveness. This surely was the palace of a president.
When we approach the throne room, you will all enter on your knees.
Listen, you transistorized twit. Nobody tells Kremmen to kneel.
You will go in on your knees.
I will not go in on my knees.
Or we will remove your eyeballs.
Think I'll go in on my knees.
As we shuffled towards the president's throne, we noticed that he was talking to what seemed to be his advisors.
Excuse me, Your Majesty.
Kremmen, it's you. You scummy little twat.
Oh.
I have consulted my ministers here, and we have decided that because you have been such an annoyance to us, we must banish you to one of our farthest moons.
The moon he was talking about was none other than Sunaru 9, a cold, remote moon billions of miles from anywhere.
Captain, isn't that the one that's completely made of mud?
Yes, that's the one.
And it's intensely radioactive, Captain. Quite right, Doctor.
Well, that was it. We were done for. Banished forever on a ball of mud. Destined to spend the rest of our lives in the mud mines.
Well, have fun in the mud, you three. You evil nerd.
I summoned up a whopper and spat in his eye.
You'll pay for this, Kremmen.
How much?
50 p.
Done!
Guards hustled us out of the throne room and bundled us into an auto-drive galactopod with just enough fuel for a one-way trip to Sonaro 9. The ship rose slowly into the green night sky and slipped effortlessly away.
Captain, I really don't think you should have spat in his eye like that.
You're right, Carla. I should have stuck my foot up his nostril instead.
I know, but look what's ahead of us now. Banished forever to a radioactive lump of mud.
Well, at least we won't be lacking for company, Captain. What do you mean? There are other people on this moon, you know. Really? Who are they? Many years ago, Captain, the Thargoids ran out of natural sources of energy, just as the Earth did in 1994. And just like us, they looked for other ways of obtaining it. Well, it certainly looks like they succeeded. Indeed. They discovered that one of their moons, Sonaro 9, was entirely made of radioactive mud, just right for converting into power. So they sent teams of workers to dig it out. Don't tell me. The radioactivity reduced them into mumbling, brainless dum-dums. Yes, Captain. And they're hoping the same will happen to us.
Is there no protection against this radioactivity?
The only thing that really works is to dress from head to foot in pure silver. But we haven't got any.
Well, what's the closest thing to silver, Captain?
The Lone Ranger's bum, Carla.
A few hours later, we arrived. We looked out of the porthole and saw it there below us. It was a moon about the size of Earth's, but brown, wet, and yucky. Suddenly, the fuel ran out, and we plummeted down to the surface.
Here, Carla, put these space wellies on.
Oh, Captain, look out there. A reception committee.
Sure enough, coming towards us through the mud was a group of radioactive mudmen. Limping, twisted lumps that once had been human, now gnarled beyond recognition.
Oh, Captain, look. That one's got 3 knees.
Their leader opened up a hole in his head and spoke. What did he say, Doc?
He said it's extremely difficult to talk. It's extremely difficult to talk to you with a mouthful of mud.
Well, tell him to spit it out.
Spit it out. Thanks.
As the doctor stood there with a mud Gilbert sliding down the front of his spacesuit, I measured Carla for radioactivity.
Golly, Carla.
What?
According to this Geiger counter, you've got far too many Geigers.
Oh, Captain, if I die, you can have my hi-fi and the keys to my flat and all my expensive collection of doobies.
Carla,
and
I wouldn't let you die. You know that.
And my life-size Fozzie Bear doll. And,
Carla!
And this handy-dandy transistorized escape kit.
Carla, there's no way that I... What? Escape kit? Did you say escape kit?
Yes, Captain, I always carry it with me. You know the scrapes a girl can get into.
Gotterdammerung, Captain! It's a quadrostatic interstellar matter transporter.
So it is. It's too small to transport us back to Earth, but it'll take a written message. Anyone got a pen?
Yeah, Captain.
What?
Use this.
Norg snapped off one of his fingers. We sharpened the nail and dipped it in mud.
What are we going to say?
Well, how about,
We worked out the message, addressed it to the President of the United Armed Forces of Planet Earth, and set it to appear in his office. I pressed the doobry marked send, and we all stood back. Well, Doc, how long do you think it'll take to reach Earth at this distance?
Well, taking into account the basic diametric polarity of structural nucleonic Watsit, it should be rematerializing about now.
Meanwhile, back on Earth.
Gee, look, Mr. President. There's a glowing thing appeared on your dais.
Why, that's a matter transporter. Those things are only used in times of cosmic distress. Quick, open it. Whoever sent that needs our help.
It's from Captain Kremmen.
Kremmen? It says, Carla, Dr. Gitfinger, and I are being held prisoner on the Thargoid moon.
Prisoner?
While Gort, leader of the Thargoids, is planning an Earth attack.
Earth attack?
Send nuclear strike force immediately.
By the bones of Shirley Temple, they'll pay for this. Launch a nuclear attack.
I'll get on to it right now, sir.
may I help you?
Hello, is that nuclear attacks? Can you send one up straight away?
All right, thank you.
From firing ranges all over Earth, rockets thundered away. Their delicate nose cones seeking the target from information I'd put in the note.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Meanwhile, back in the mud mine...
Oh, Captain,
What?
this mud, it's getting on my wick.
Never fear, Carla. We'll be off this moon faster than you can say eeny, meeny, macaracker.
Oh, Captain, look, the matter transporter. They've sent it back.
Go to down, Captain! This was the moment I'd been secretly waiting for. I hurriedly opened the pod, and there inside was what I'd been hoping to find, a two-way radio.
Kremmen to Earth. Hello, Kremmen to Earth. Come in, please.
Speaking, Captain. Listen, we've sent off a nuclear strike force, but the bombs can't hit Thargoidia. They've got some sort of invisible shield up. You'll have to tackle it from your end, Captain. Weaken the shield for just 1 second, and all the bombs can fall through onto the surface.
But if I'm there weakening the shield, all the bombs will fall on me.
It's the only way, Captain.
But I do it
For the Queen.
Huh?
She's here with me and wants a word with you.
Oh.
I have my husband to support me. He shares all my ideals and all my affection for you.
I suddenly felt an attack of land of hope and gloriness. I rose to my full 6'8", turned to Narg, leader of the Mudmen, and spoke. How often do the Thargoids come to collect supplies of radioactive mud for their reactors?
There is a shuttle coming tomorrow.
How many guards are on board?
Only one, but he's heavily armed.
He's right, Captain, huh? Those shuttle guards carry grunge bombs.
Grunge bombs, huh? Never fear. I have a plan. We sat around for the rest of the night, reviewing our situation, while the Mudmen had their evening meal. Deep-fried ribs of mud with mud dressing, followed by mud madeleine and mixed mud from the trolley.
Oh, Captain, I think I'm gonna be ill.
No, wait, Carla, don't go.
Why?
I have an idea. Listen.
Hey, that's terrific.
It was nothing. You should hear the one that goes... That night, we decided not to sleep in the cave, but to venture out on what I was sure was to be our last night in the mud mines. As we stepped out into the night, the stars came out in heavenly splendor. Carla snuggled up to my vast, hairy, heaving chest, and together we turned the darkness into cosmic bliss.
Well, why ever not? Stay tuned, Space Groovers, and dig part 2 of your sexy, silly stereo space serial in the Kenny Everett video show. Remember how, in part 1, Captain Kremmen and Carla had just celebrated their last night on the Mud Planet. Afterwards, we sat behind a rock and had a smoke.
Well, that was pretty good, huh, Carla?
Oh, it was magnificent, Captain.
Yeah, it's difficult to improve on perfection, but somehow I always seem to manage it. Oh, Carla, I've got to give up this brand.
The next day, we eagerly awaited the arrival of the shuttle, which came to collect all the radioactive mud for the Thargoid furnaces to keep the evil swines in power. It arrived on time and landed just near the cave. The door slid open. Out came the guard, pointed his grunge gun at us, and bellowed,
Load the shuttle, you insignificant mealy-mouthed scum!
While the Mudmen obeyed the command, Carla whipped out some elastic from her space suspenders.
Here, Captain.
I plopped a fat, juicy mud pie in it and aimed it at the guard.
Take this, fiend! He reeled back as his big green eyes sizzled in agony.
I've got his gun, Captain.
Professor!
Yes, Captain.
Get all the mudmen aboard. We're gonna need their help.
Right away.
Once we'd loaded all the mudmen, I took off. As we approached the planet, I had to steer carefully, as all around it were poised atom bombs from Earth, just hanging there, mission uncompleted.
Oh, Captain, you're so brave and stuff.
It's nothing, Carla. Hand me a fag, will you?
But, Captain, you know what
Just a slight attack of space nerves.
No.
Boy, wait till the Thargoids see what's in the hold.
Here.
They'll freak. Hi, kids. Kremmen here. You remember last time what happened when the mud shuttle arrived from Thargoidia? It arrived on time and landed just near the cave. The door slid open. Out came the guard, pointed his grunge gun at us, and bellowed,
Load the shuttle, you insignificant, mealy-mouthed scum.
While the mudmen obeyed the command, Carla whipped out some elastic from her space suspenders.
Here, Captain.
I plopped a fat, juicy mud pie in it and aimed it at the guard.
Take this, fiend!
He reeled back as his big green eyes sizzled in agony.
I've got his gun, Captain.
Professor!
Yes, Captain.
Get all the mudmen aboard. We're gonna need their help.
Right away.
Once we'd loaded all the mudmen, I took off. As we approached the planet, I had to steer carefully, as all around it were poised atom bombs from Earth, just hanging there, mission uncompleted.
Oh, Captain, you're so brave and stuff.
It's nothing, Carla. However, I must say I'm having difficulty managing to drive this thing.
Full start ahead, engine room.
Earth are depending on us, Captain.
I know, Carla. One false move on my part now, and it'll be the biggest disaster since a hydrogen bomb fell on Tony Blackburn's head and did 50 P's worth of damage.
Well, space fans, this is it. Can Kremmen save the universe? Find out in part 2 of the Kenny Everett video show.
Hi, kids. Kremmen again. Remember in part 1, we were poised above Thargoidia, ready to drop the big one. Below us, through the orange clouds, we could see the Thargoid capital. Towering shafts of steel and glass, light bridges, silver domes glinting in the sunshine. And up ahead, half hidden by a giant skyscraper, was Gort's palace.
Well, Captain, what are your plans?
Well, Doc, I could drop our payload of radioactive mud all over the palace roof.
But, Captain, that would give us away. As soon as it hit the roof, they'd suss it with us and pull the lever, switching off the invisible shield.
She's right, Captain. All the bombs would fall through on top of us all.
It's not that we mind dying, do we, Doctor?
Well, maybe a little insy-teensy, insy-bitsy, tiny-weeny bit.
It's you, Captain. The universe can't afford to lose you, with all your bravery and muscles. No, Captain. You must live on to guide all peoples of goodwill towards the goal of ultimate destiny and hope, towards a new beginning and a golden tomorrow. And anyway, you can't die. You're the only astronaut to have seen the far side of Demis Roussos.
Moon shuttle, commence landing procedure. Commence landing procedure.
Okay, folks, this is it.
Oh, dear.
Carla, pass me that grunge gun.
Okay, here it is, but be careful. It's got a charge of 50 megathrobs.
This is going to be a fight to the death. I'm going to reduce this planet to a barren, desolate wilderness entirely devoid of life. A deep shudder in the bowels of the ship told me we landed. Open the hatch, Doc. Stay behind me, Carla. This is going to be ugly. I jumped out into the loading bay, slap bang in the middle of a platoon of Thargoid guards. All they were expecting was a delivery of mud. What they got was a hail of grunge fire. Take this, swines!
Did you get them all, Captain? Captain?
Of course.
Did any of them get you?
As you know, Carla, I have bionic skin, and with it I managed to avoid getting hurt at all.
Well, what's that mark on your head, Captain?
Well, I was sprinkling a little toilet water on my face this morning, and the seat fell on me.
Well, now we have arrived, Captain. Where to now?
To Gort's throne room. Now, where the heck is it?
I got a sneaking suspicion it's along this corridor, third turning on the left, up a flight of stairs, and the second door on the right.
How do you know that?
Because there's a sign here that says Gort's throne room. It's along the corridor, third turning on the left.
Before you could say quasi-nuclear phase-interlocked diphthong retarders, we were outside the throne room.
Okay, Carla,
Yes,
Doc,
Captain?
let's push the door down.
Right.
Okay. Look, Captain, there's Gort.
Okay, Gort, the game's up.
Kremmen!
Yes.
You can't burst in here!
Okay, I'll go and burst outside.
Come back, you fool!
What?
I want you to hear this.
Here is a newsflash. A rogue neutron bomb was accidentally released this morning, and in 2 minutes, the whole universe will explode. There'll be a full analysis of the implications of this in our main news at 10 tonight.
I don't believe it.
You see, Kremmen, the game really is up. For all of us.
Oh no, it can't be, can it? Stay tuned, folks, and go, ooh, in part 2 of the Kenny Everett video show. Hi kids, Kremmen again. According to a newscast on Gort's radio, the universe was coming to an end. So we all decided to make up.
As a gesture, let's lay our weapons on the table.
Is that absolutely necessary, Captain?
It's a gesture of goodwill, Carla.
Captain.
Yes, Carla?
Captain, with only a minute to go before the end of everything, we really ought to be,
Yes,
sort of...
Carla, I know. It's goodbye time. Excuse us, Gort.
Certainly, Captain, I understand your strange Earth customs.
Well, Dr. Gitfinger, Carla, it's time to part forever. And I suppose we ought to say goodbye in the best way we know.
Captain,
Yes, Carla?
what about me?
Captain, look! What?
When I press the button on my digital watch, it just says 10 seconds to go. Oh, golly.
Take heart, Carla.
I'm so nervous, Captain.
Hold on.
I've never died before.
2, 1.
Well, isn't that amazing?
What?
Heavens, just like that room we were just in.
Carla, we're still in that room we were just in. We're still alive. Suddenly, I noticed an evil gleam in Gort's eye as he grabbed at the gun I'd laid on the table.
You stupid fools, taken in by my fake newscast.
Gotterdammerung! It was all an evil plan!
Oh, you beast!
Yes, and now I have you once again in my grips.
Yes, but you've forgotten one thing, Gort.
What is that?
You've forgotten about my bionic left foot with the big toe that unscrews like this. And when I joined this bit with this other bit and put that into this alongside the twiddly bit that fits into there, this drops down and joins the other section which turns into this.
A space cannon!
Right. Grab him, Carla.
Okay, Captain. This way, you horrible blob.
Soon we were back on board my trusty spaceship, Troll 1. I set the controls for home, and the ship rose from the pad. As Thargoidia disappeared into the distance, we wondered what adventures the journey back to Earth had in store for us. Cast your doobies to the wind, folks, and find out in the next exciting episode of Captain Kremmen! Hi, kids. Kremmen here. Well, here we are on board Troll 1, having escaped from the Thargoid planet. The journey back to Earth would take several weeks, as Thargoidia was one of the furthest planets in Vector 903 in the Kren region of the Zonj Quadrant. And all the time, I'd have to keep my eye on our evil prisoner.
Well, Gort, the tables are turned, huh?
So it would seem at the moment, Captain. I suppose, being a backward race, you'll torture me when we get back to Earth.
No, we banned torture many years ago.
I don't believe it, Captain. I just know you're going to torture me.
No, really, Gort. Way back in 1983, we stopped torture forever on Earth.
How?
We shot Nicholas Parsons. Excuse me, Gort. There's the intercom.
Captain, it's a long distance from Earth.
I know, about 57 billion miles.
No, the space phone. Here, a call from the President.
The President? Here, give it me. Hello, Mr. President?
Hello, Kremmen?
Yes, sir.
Good to hear your voice.
Well, sir, I've mopped up the Thargoid menace and saved Earth from invasion again.
Wonderful. And I'm authorized by the Interstellar Space Committee to tell you that we have designated you a hero of space.
Did you hear that, Carla?
Yes, Captain, it's wonderful.
And not only that, Kremmen, when you get back here, I'm going to present you with an award from all the citizens of Earth.
Oh, really? What is it?
It's 2 statuettes in solid gold of a spaceman and a spacewoman. Do you want them mounted?
No, just holding hands will be fine.
Is this the finest moment of Kremmen's career, or is it pride before a fall?
Hi, kids. Kremmen again. Remember in the first part, we were heading back to Earth after yet another fab adventure. I gazed down at my little space nymph and thought of what a brick she'd been through all the agonies of this voyage. Carla.
Yes, Captain?
It's gonna be quite a while till we reach Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So at last we'll have a chance to really get to know each other better. For instance, is there anything personal and intimate you've always wanted to ask me?
How long is it?
Huh?
How long is it that we've got till we reach Earth?
Oh.
Mission Control to Kremmen.
Hello, Mission Control. Kremmen here.
Hello, Kremmen. We want you to land at Houston.
Which platform?
Houston.
Just a little space joke.
Listen, Kremmen, this is most important. Our boys in the technical bay have found 2 enormous errors on your computer tape.
Sorry, Mission Control, you're fading.
2 gigantic mistakes on your computer tapes.
Sorry?
2 enormous boobs!
Did somebody call me?
As we got nearer to planet Earth, it became slowly visible on the screens. There it was, the gray continents, the dark gray deserts, the light gray oceans.
I wish they'd fit color TV in these things.
Doctor, you grab the steering wheel while I blow out the wick.
Right, Captain.
The ship gracefully settled into a gliding slope towards the Houston Cosmodrome, and from several thousand feet, I could see the thronging crowds and hear the cheers.
Look, Captain, there's the President's car.
Okay, Doc, gently, ease her down. Once on the launch pad, we opened the hatch and walked out.
Well, Kremmen, you've done it again.
Yes, Mr. President, and I've brought you back a little present from Thargoidia.
Oh, yes, their leader, Gort. I've been looking forward to seeing him.
I'm afraid he's not a pretty sight, sir.
Good grief, you're right. Ugh, what a horrible mess. Ugh, I've never seen such a hideous face.
That's Carla, sir.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Look, there's Gort now.
You think I'm finished, don't you? Scum. Well, not so fast. You haven't seen the last of me yet.
Are these the ravings of a 3-lipped nit from outer space? Or has Gort got something new up one of his 7 sleeves?
You'll have to wait and see, space fans, in the next adventure of Captain Kremmen.